Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. The Mount and Blade series is one of my favourites of gaming. Mount and Blade Warband and Bannerlord both offer gaming experiences like no other. Today in this video I'll be discussing why I love both of these games so much. I've decided to talk about both of them at once since they are very similar with a few differences. If you like videos like this and want to see more, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, I'll stop yapping and let's get started.
Attack!
So Mount and Blade has been around for a very long time. The first game, Mount and Blade, came out in 2008 with an expansion named Warband later on in March 2010. The game takes place around the 12th to 13th century in a fictional depiction of our world during that time. The map itself is based on Europe with some differences. This is also similar to Bannerlord, but that game takes place a few hundred years before. So let's talk about what makes these games so great. In the game, you have factions to choose from, and these factions are based on what we have in the real world at that time. For example, the Swadians or Valadians are based off Western European, being a mix of England and France. In these games, you can start anywhere on the map. You choose your character, background, skills, and set out to do as you like. The aim of the game is up to you, with some limits of course. You go from hiring villagers and defeating a few bandits, to leading large armies and attacking other nations. The games start off very small, but after a bit of a grind leveling up your troops, your character, and attacking bandits or another faction, you can become a king in a few ways or even just a super wealthy merchant. Taking over your first castle in this game never gets old. It goes from being almost impossible to slowly getting easier over time. While you're doing this, you have to feed your troops, keep morale high, buy some workshops for a monetary income, hire companions, and so much more. There is so much depth to this game that even though it's a game about fighting and conquering, if you even want to, there's so many other elements to this game that can keep you busy and make you really feel immersed in the game. But what makes this gameplay loop more interesting is that you can very easily lose and be set back by hours of progress. For example, if you have made enemies and they find you on the map and have a bigger army than you can try to fight them or flee, or you can surrender, but you will be punished and your soldiers can very well die in combat, and you yourself can be taken prisoner, losing loot, good soldiers, and of course your money. You can also have your villages raided or even your settlements taken back from you. As you do to others, they can do to you. The game is always moving as well, even without your direct input. Factions will fight and raid each other, settling disputes, provocations, truces, and all that good stuff. The risk factor in the Mount and Blade games makes winning feel all the more better, as it's not just an easy feat to take castles or destroy a faction, especially since the map is so vast. It's even bigger in the second game, Bannerlord, as well. Of course, there are difficulty modifiers, and you can choose them with your preference, which does a lot to help if you are struggling. The battles in this game are so much fun as well. They're really cinematic too. You can choose your battle sizes and your settings, being a small group of maybe 30 or 60 at a time, to all the way to past 100. As well, they are not always perfect and they can be tedious at times, but the experience is just very great and unique. Leading your men in battle in third or first person and giving them orders on the field is so much fun and it never gets old. Seeing giant armies clash, or you yourself taking up a position on a hill, raining arrows on the enemies is just so much fun. Also, when your settlements or castles get attacked, you can defend them, manning the walls. In the second game, Bannerlord, chucking down rocks at the enemies at the gates. And what makes it all the more interesting is knowing that you could very well lose. So it would be foolish of me not to talk about the mods in this game as well. There are all sorts of mods for both of these games, those being smaller mods, changing banner icons and maybe adding some extra factions, to an all-out conversion mod, changing the whole map. For example, one conversion mod changing the whole map into Europe in 1257 AD, or even a mod set during the age of antiquity as the Roman Empire. The variety is endless, especially for the first game, Warband, since it's been out for a lot longer. So yeah, these games are great. Not perfect as no game really is, but very fun overall. If you haven't tried Mount and Blade, I do highly recommend either one, either Warband, the older one, or Bannerlord, the newer one. I don't often see Mount and Blade being discussed, so I thought I'd give my take on it, as these are just absolutely great games. If you have made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it, and if you like these kind of videos, then you can always feel free to like and subscribe, and let me know exactly what you think in the comments as well. Thanks again, and I will catch you in the next one.